Hello, I'm Scott Bogey here with Dzhamal Mavliudov ahead of his LFA fight against Jordon Tague. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. The fight's not that far away, April the 18th. How are you feeling ahead of that fight?
Oh man, I feel good. I feel excited. Finally fighting. My last fight was in September,
Yeah,
and we could match me up after this. So I'm really pumped and ready to prove that I'm the
e-
best.
exactly. And you did have a fight booked in November, which did fall through. Were they just not able to get someone willing to take the short notice?
So the pro we had a I had a fight in November. I had a one fight, and we signed a contract, and my guy got injured.
Yeah.
So they offered me 2 weeks before fight versus I don't remember his name though. So they offered me fight and I said yes, but then we couldn't find a way because guy was asking for 145 and I wasn't be able to make 45. So we didn't make a deal.
Well, you're now being able to get onto one of the biggest stages in the MMA scene, LFA. That must feel nice to be able to showcase your ability on the biggest stage.
Um, man, I feel like I said, I feel so excited. I think this is the big opportunity. I wasn't preparing for this fight for like 6 weeks or something. I was
Yeah.
preparing for fight all my life. So I think yeah, I think it's my chance. I think it's time to show who I am actually to whole entire US and maybe the world.
And you have had a great career so far. You are 4-0, three first round finishes, one second round stoppage. How do you feel like that has all been building up to this? How do you feel like you've rated your performances so far?
Um I never fought someone who is not as good as my level. So I always fight guys who's like studs. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think I don't like to talk about myself, but I think I'm just better. I'm just better, and I can be the best, and I can every fight I just got to improve, and feel like my IQ level is higher than all my opponents. So I just beat them up with this. I just take it all over.
And since that last fight, what do you feel like you've improved on the most?
Oh man, since last fight, I got improved so much in my jiu-jitsu, my strength and conditioning. Because before that, I wasn't doing a lot of like conditioning and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like I used to work just by myself, like doing my cardio and lifting weights. But since my last fight, I got my gym. Uh, my gym gave me a coach. So the coach that I work on my strength conditioning. So yeah, now I have a strength conditioning coach. I feel so much stronger. I feel so much explosive and faster. So I think I got a big improvements.
And am I correct in saying you're at American Top Team Portland just now?
Yeah, yeah. I'm fighting at American Top Team Portland.
Yeah. And how has that been for your development? Because obviously they have got that big name in the sport.
Well, obviously, American Top Team is one of the biggest gyms
Yeah.
in US. I would say even in the world. So we have the best coaches. We have the best gym, big gym, and also I believe so. American Top Team has good connections with the other promotions.
Yeah.
So I able to get good fights. I was in competition, and yeah, I think my coaches are doing the best what they can do for me. Well, because they are the best.
Yeah.
That's why we call American Top Team.
And are you wanting to stay active this year? Is that the main goal?
Yes, definitely. I want to fight 4 times this year, even more. I'm open for everything. I would say depends well, the thing about me fighting, it's very very hard to find a opponent for me. So I got so much trouble with it, and yeah. But I hope I'm gonna stay active for the whole year, and I'll be able to fight maybe 4 and 5 times. I'm young. I'm ready. I guess not a problem.
And do you feel like LFA is just that promotion that you need to be able to get to that next step, which is obviously the UFC?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. LFA, it's the main promotion on the Fight Pass.
Yeah.
So obviously, all matchmakers they're looking for the Fight Pass, looking for the talent, young fighters. So I feel like yeah, this is my shot, and LFA is the promotion that I was dreaming for. So I had a dreams that oh LFA, it's my turn. I have to go and prove it. And a lot of high level guys, and before that, all my fights, people will. Oh, I feel like people can't talk shit, and a lot of people talk shit like,
Yeah.
oh, you just you fight on some unknown shows, which is not true. But still they're like, oh, they're giving you like right matchups, and I was like, I never say no to anything. They always offer me matchup. You can talk to my manager, and I never said no. I had so many fights before as amateur too, and I never declined any of the fights. So yeah, I feel like LFA, it's a bigger opportunity. It's a good show. It's obviously way tougher opponents than I had before, but I'm also tough, so I'm ready for that.
Yeah, exactly. It may be tougher opponents, but you're welcoming the challenge. You have got the ability. Are you targeting like a contender series or a short notice call up potentially next year?
Yeah, definitely next, even maybe this year. Like
Yeah,
I'm staying active. Every day in the gym, 2, 3 times a day. So I want to be that guy who always ready for anything. If tomorrow I got called from UFC, I'll be like, you know what, I'm ready. I'll fight anyone, anytime, no problem, because I'm ready. I'm staying ready. I'm always in shape. So yeah, I believe so. If I prove them that I'm the best in LFA, I can get my shot pretty fast.
and what do you make of obviously your division in the UFC just now? There's also a lot of talk now that Ilya has came in. Where do you see the title, who get the next shot, and what other matchups are you looking to see?
We're talking about me or
No, just the UFC lightweight division.
yeah. Oh well, definitely lightweight division. It's the toughest weight class. It was toughest. It's gonna be the toughest. So it's just nobody can say anything about lightweights. Lightweights always the tough. They're faster. They're stronger. And our division 155 is packed.
Yeah.
Like really packed. So I believe when I get to UFC, I'm not gonna. I will never. I will never fight easy fight. Because every single guy, it's better, 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 stronger, 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 faster, 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 and everything. So yeah, our division is packed, and there's literally no okay fighters.
And is there anyone in that division that you are wanting a fight with at some point? Like, it doesn't need to, also it's going to be the champion, but any like marquee fights, like a Bobby Green or a Jim Miller or something like that.
Damn, I'll. we had this conversation with my strength conditioning coach recently. And like, if you get a call tomorrow, like, who would you pick to fight right now? It's a good question. I respect every single fighter in the UFC, out of UFC. I'm so respectful to everyone, but I personally would like to fight Bobby Green. I think the matchup for me. I don't talk shit about him, but this is the guy I would like to beat like first.
You just want to say that you take down the king.
Say it again.
You just want to be the one to take down the king, is that correct?
Definitely, yeah, 100%.
And are you being able to focus on your career full time, or do you do anything in between, like any job to supplement it?
No, I'm focused on my career only. I don't do anything. I live with sport. Sport is my life.
And do you feel like that is where you kind of have the edge of some people because you get to just fully dedicate your life into this?
Yes, correct.
And how was it that you got into the sport?
You mean how many years?
No, like what brought you into it? Was it
Oh,
starting off the wrestling?
a little story from my childhood. My I used to play soccer. I like soccer. I used to like do swimming and stuff. And yeah, and I noticed that man, every time when we lose in soccer, every time when we lose in soccer, I was blaming everyone. I was like, yeah, because of you, we'll lose because of you. So, and I just, I had a conversation with my grandpa, and he was like, well, I don't think that soccer is something that you want to play. I know it's good. I know you like it, but I feel like you need a sport when you're like independent.
Yeah.
When if you lose, no one else. If you win, it's your win, no one else. So it's pretty much why I choose MMA. Also, my whole family, they're like in water sport. My uncle, he used to fight for UFC. He got two fights
Yeah.
and back in the day. Um, yeah, he's one of the toughest guys. And my dad likes MMA. He used to train too. He got some amateur fights. Like he's good, but we all came from the Sambo, the combat Sambo. So yeah, pretty much I got sport family. So yeah, I feel like that's the main reason. My uncle pretty much motivated me when I was seeing him fighting, and I was like, well, maybe if I need independent sport, this is what it's gonna be.
And do you feel like having him being able to reach that height has been able to show you what it takes to get there?
Definitely, 100%, man. Every time when I saw him like injured and stuff, and not being on the family dinners or something, I was like, man, this you have to be like selfish in this sport, very, very selfish. And it's super hard because you have to he missed a lot of like holidays and stuff in
Yeah.
whenever we didn't really spend much time together just because of him being busy and all these injuries, loses, wins. I was like, damn, this is definitely not an easiest sport. And yeah, it's hard.
I mean, we could talk about your losses, however, you've not had any yet, so we can't really do that just yet. But do you feel like you're not really putting too much pressure on that side? You're just looking forward to the next matchup.
Yes, I don't. So what was the question again?
Like you don't really focus on your undefeated record as such. You're just looking at the fight as a whole.
Well, back in the day when I was fighting in the Samba as an amateur, I got losses. Yeah, I got a couple losses. Not gonna lie, and I don't think it's only made me a good fighter. But I always
Yeah.
had this. Oh, it's kind of funny, but I always had this idea in my head, like, well, I don't know why, but I am the one who's gonna be undefeated. I don't, to be honest. Yeah, obviously the losses are sick. Like it suck. You don't. Nobody wants to lose. But I feel like even if I lose, hopefully not though, it's gonna only make me better fighter. I don't really look at the numbers because man, there's so many fighters who got losses and they're beast. They're very good. And the main important thing that I'm trying to focus on being the beast, being the number one, you know. And it doesn't matter if I'm gonna have like 30 fights and no defeats or 10 fights and five defeats or something. It doesn't really matter for me. As soon as I'm in the top, as soon as I'm the champion, yeah, obviously I want to be undefeated. I want to save my
Yeah.
O for a while. Yeah, for the rest of my
And if you had to describe your game to someone who may not have watched it, how would you describe it?
my game.
Yeah. Like, are you quite a fast-paced, aggressive striker? You more of a counter puncher?
I can clearly say I'm a counter striker. This is kind of funny because we all came basically from wrestling. We all had a wrestling background. I wrestled in junior college, and this is kind of funny because I love wrestling. I love wrestling.
Yeah.
Wow, it's I don't know, it's number one sport for me. But when I start working on my kickboxing, I was like, man, this is so cool. I love it. And I start putting more striking, and I noticed that, man, my counter striking game, I'm so smart. I'm really good on my feet. I'm long. My timing is perfect. So I was like, yeah, maybe I can call myself a counter striker for sure.
And what would you say is the best base for an MMA striker? Well, not a striker, but an MMA fighter coming through.
What was
Like,
the
is it
what?
the best base for a fighter? Is it that wrestling base, a kickboxing base? What's the best base?
Well, you know what? Back in the day, I would pick something. I would pick like one of the sports, either boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, wrestling. But right now, there's no such a thing as a kickboxer, wrestler, or something. You have to be good everywhere. Because back in the day, you can watch like fighting Dan Severn versus anyone, and it was like
Yep.
wrestler versus striker. It wasn't there was no one who had good wrestling and good striking. The only guy that I can name is probably like when he started to coming up something like big, like when people start getting better everywhere. It's like George St. Pierre. He got everything. He's beast. And then after this, you can really see like there's no such a thing as a wrestler or a kickboxer or boxer. So, but I'll pick wrestling. I'll go with wrestling. Wrestling still dominates everywhere. All the champions they had wrestling background, so I'll go with wrestling.
And was there anyone that you were really looking up to when you were coming in for the game?
Say it again.
Was there anyone that you were looking up to in the wrestling world or the striking world?
What do you mean by that?
Like some people are looking at George St. Pierre as their idol, so to speak.
Oh, you mean in MMA or in wrestling?
Yeah, in
Oh,
MMA.
in MMA, I was growing up watching the fights of I'll say that Max Holloway. I'll go with Max Holloway. I was growing up watching Max Holloway's fights, and I was always thinking like, "Wow, this guy's beast." And then when Khabib pops out, I was like, "Well, Khabib is the beast." And yeah, I'll name fighters. They made me a good. They made me who I am. My
Um,
mentality. John Jones. I'll name John Jones too.
and obviously Max Holloway, he has gone back to your division. Maybe that's a tie for in a couple of years' time.
I respect Max so much. He's one who makes me believe in myself and be like, well, you can be just like this guy.
Yeah,
But I respect him so much, and I don't know if I can fight him, but if I have to, I will.
yeah. And do you feel like Max Holloway has done everything in the sport? Do you feel like some fighters need to take that step back before they just go on that massive losing streak? Like Tony Ferguson, he was at that pinnacle. Everyone was giving him his flowers, and then he goes on that 8 fight losing streak. That kind of just hampers that legacy.
Max Holloway done everything in the sport for me.
Yeah,
Not everything. There's so many fighters who might be good, but they didn't prove it. Like I am the best. Obviously, I want. I mean, I have my rating. Like I would say, George St. Pierre is number one for me because he's done everything. Then it might be like Khabib and then John Jones. And but the point I'm trying to say, my point is, there's so many fighters that they're good, but you can't call them the best because they didn't do everything in the sport. There's some
yeah.
fighters that did, yeah, and I'll definitely pick like Max Holloway, John Jones, Khabib, and George St. Pierre.
And with this fight coming up, what are you expecting from Jordan?
Man, he's a college wrestler. He's a college wrestler, so I'll
Yeah,
definitely wrestling. In my eyes, he's good. He's strong. He's very strong. He's smart, and in my eyes, he's a wrestler who's trying to be an MMA fighter. So I
yeah.
would I expect pressure in wrestling for sure.
And also, you do have that wrestling background, which will be able to hopefully come in handy. Do you feel like that is just going to be his full game plan and just get this fight to the ground?
I think my striking game is better. They definitely saw my highlights or something, so they probably know that it's not a good idea to strike with me. Yeah, and I believe so. His game plan is pressure and wrestling.
And if I was to say you can go in there, get whatever you want, what are you getting him out there with?
Are you talking about win?
Yeah, like if you could just pinpoint a highlight reel knockout or submission, what is
I'll
it?
I'll probably pick some time knee, like when he shoot and something like that, or spin kick. I love spin kicks, so maybe spin kick, like body kick or something. Yeah, definitely I'll pick knockout.
Well, that sounds great. I know you'll be able to get that spinning knockout, and we'll be able to see you hopefully in the Contender Series this year. If not, we'll be able to see you in that UFC very shortly. Is there anything you're wanting to add or anyone you're wanting to shout out?
Um, no, I think we're good.
Well, that sounds great. Make sure you tune in to the UFC Fight Pass April the 18th. You will not want to miss the spinning knockout that's going to be on show. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, man.